Good evening, my dear friends. I welcome you all to the Hindu Science and Technology Analysis on July 3rd, 2022. First, we're going to talk about the micronutrients nitrogen, which is essential for the development of the roots and for producing some of the nutrients essential for the plants. The nitrogen is absorbed in the soil and from which the roots of the plants take the nitrogen essential for the production of auxin, a hormone which is essential for the root development. So, the biosynthesis which happens in the roots, for that nitrogen is essential. There is an RNA MIR 4444 which is responsible for producing a MADS, that is gene MADS 27, a gene which is responsible for regulation of the nitrogen absorption in the plants and the production of auxin, which is responsible for the root development. And scientists have also discovered that this MADS 27 is helping the plants to be stress tolerant so that excess nitrogen is not absorbed into the roots. When the nitrogen is deposited into the soil with the help of fertilizers, what happens is that the excess nitrogen which is being and ammonia which is being deposited in the soil becomes a pollutant, and water gets polluted and the environment gets polluted, producing the carbon dioxide kind of carbo emissions, which is very much greenhouse gases, which is very much dangerous. So the scientists have discovered an alternate route to the MADS 27 production, which will be tried in monocot plants like rice and dicot plants like tobacco. Friends, I hope you already know the monocot and the dicot. It is depending upon the development of the plant from the seed in which a plant is being classified as a monocot plant or a plant is being classified as a dicot plant. For example, in rice, from the single seed, a development of the plant happens. So it is known as a monocot plant. If we look at some seeds, like for example, take the orange seed, we can bifurcate the seed into two, and therefore the development of the plant from the seed is a dicot plant development. So the scientists have chanced upon this MADS 27, which will not only help the plants to regulate the production of auxin, the intake of nitrogen, and also it will help to be stress tolerant to the nitrogen excesses happening from the fertilizers. The next in the article analysis is that the scientists, as per the Paris Agreement of climate change, energy and the development of processes to control environmental pollution, the countries had agreed to limit the temperature in the environment between 1.5 degrees centigrade and 2 degrees centigrade. Now, the scientists are warning that if the present way of emissions of carbon dioxide and the greenhouse gases is continuing in this way, this will pave the way for breaching the 2 degrees centigrade mark in the coming days. This decade is the chance, that is 2020 to 2030, is the chance to make the temperature in the environment regulated to 1.5 degrees centigrade to 2 degrees centigrade. Otherwise, what happens if this chance is missed? The temperatures will rise because of the greenhouse emissions, factories, and the environmental pollutants like plastics and the smoke and all such type of carbon monoxide emanating from excessive use of the fossil fuels, what will happen is that most of the plants will become extinct by getting burnt. This is going to happen. So time is up to control the environmental carbon emissions in this decade is the next article. Then what happens is that there is an antimicrobial resistance which happens in most parts of the world today. Around 1.97 million deaths are occurring due to this antimicrobial resistance. This is one of the reasons for 30% of the neonatal sepsis. What happens is that this antimicrobial resistance means resistance to the development of superbugs which resist the medicines which we take. We take medicines for controlling or get cure from the diseases. There are development of superbugs in the body which controls the the antibiotics which we take. This is antimicrobial resistance. So India is encouraged to make more and more efforts in production of development and production of antibiotics. Why this is not very much encouraging in India is that most of the companies, drug making companies, which are making these antibiotics, when they develop and launch the antibiotics for approval, the government prohibits its release because it is the high costly which is being concerned by the government. So government asks the hospitals for use of generic already available less costly drugs. So the companies which invest in this development of antibiotics are discouraged to continue this development and stop. The article says that this encouragement of development of antibiotics, newer antibiotics which will control or regulate the superbugs responsible for antimicrobial resistance, as I said, so that we will have the deaths, the 1.27 million deaths across the world not affecting us anymore in India. Then there is another research in the United Kingdom. Some children are found to have developed hepatitis in the early ages. The coronavirus concerned or related adenovirus is responsible for this development of hepatitis in children. So this adenovirus is very much essential for culturing the medicines. That is, Covaxin is produced with the culturing of this adenovirus. The adenovirus has a close link to the coronavirus, and this adenovirus is found to be responsible for the hepatitis disease, the development of hepatitis in children. So another research has found that the cells which is responsible for gene transcription, gene expression, is closer on the path. The scientists are closer in the path to find this, the cells responsible for gene expression. Gene expression means the scripting of the characteristics of human traits, like color of the eyes, like the color of the skin. This is responsible. the gene expression is responsible for giving various traits in the living beings. The scientists are closer to find out the cells which is responsible for this gene expression. So we will wish them all the best so that the study makes a advanced stage. Then the next is Indian patent laws. The Economic Advisory Committee of the Prime Minister has limited the objection to the development of new patents as 6 months, which is very much difficult because the patent examiners are fraught with around 55,000 patents in this 6 months period of the time which is given for objection. So the patent laws which are making this very much short time of 6 months is a cause of concern. Friends, I have come to the conclusion of the analysis today. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. I will meet you tomorrow with another discussion of the editorial Hindu and the business line editorial analysis. Bye for now. Good night.